Throughout the years, there have been many NFL stars who abruptly retired. Many missed the game so much that they came back for another try. Here are some of the biggest NFL stars who came out of retirement. Deion Sanders. As the best cornerback to play the sport, Deion was also one of the best athletes. He ran a 4.2 40-yard dash and was picked 5th in the 1989 NFL Draft by the Falcons. Deion had one of the best careers in the NFL, winning 2 Super Bowls and a Defensive Player of the Year award. Deion played 5 years with the Falcons, recording 24 interceptions and scoring 10 touchdowns. Deion was such an athletic freak that he returned kickoff, punts, and was sometimes put in as receiver. After his 5th year with the Falcons, Deion signed a 1-year deal to play on the stacked 49ers team. Deion had one of his best seasons with the 49ers, picking off 6 passes and returning 3 of them for touchdowns. Deion helped lead the 49ers to a Super Bowl victory. After his year with the 49ers, he signed a 7-year contract worth $35 million with the Cowboys. On his first year with the Cowboys, Deion won a 2nd Super Bowl. Deion would only end up playing 5 years with the Cowboys because they decided to release him. Deion would then play 1 year for the Washington Redskins. After his year with the Redskins, Deion didn't want to play for them anymore, so he retired in 2000. After 4 years of retirement, Deion came back as a Raven. He played 2 seasons, recording 5 interceptions and 1 return to the house. While Deion was on the Ravens, they didn't accomplish much, and after 2 seasons, he retired for good. Randall Cunningham. Randall Cunningham was drafted 2nd overall by the Eagles in 1989. He played for the Eagles for 11 seasons, but only played all 16 games 3 times. His time with the Eagles was full of injuries, mostly due to the fact that he was sacked 422 times. He averaged 38 sacks a season. In 1995, Randall played his last season with the Eagles. After not getting any interest in free agency, he decided to retire. Right before the start of the 1997 season, the Minnesota Vikings asked Randall to come out of retirement to play for them. Randall came out to be a backup, but because of an injury to the starting QB in 1998, Randall was named the starter and played his best season of football, being in MVP contention for most of the year. After his great season with the Vikings, Randall only played 1 more season with them, only starting 6 games before he was benched. After Minnesota, Randall played as a backup for the Cowboys and for the Ravens before retiring. Marshawn Lynch. Marshawn Lynch was drafted by the Buffalo Bills with the 12th pick in the 2007 NFL Draft. Marshawn played very well for the Bills for 3 years. On the 4th season, he was having a down year, so he was traded mid-season to the Seahawks. Marshawn played 6 years straight with the Seahawks, getting over 1,200 yards in each of the seasons except his first. Marshawn went to the Super Bowl twice with the Seahawks, winning 1 in 2013 and losing a 2nd in 2014. After the 2015 season ended, Marshawn retired to coach college football players in California. But after 2 years out of the league, Marshawn couldn't resist the urge to go play for his hometown team in the Oakland Raiders. Marshawn played for the Raiders for 2 years in 2017 and 2018, getting almost 900 yards the first season and sitting as a backup the second season. Marshawn retired after 2 seasons with Oakland, but in 2019, when all the Seahawks running backs got hurt, Marshawn came in for 2 regular season games and a playoff game, scoring 4 total touchdowns. After his last stint with the Seahawks, Marshawn retired for good, but you never know, he might come out of retirement again. Jason Witten. Jason Witten was drafted in the 3rd round of the 2003 NFL Draft by the Dallas Cowboys. Jason was injured a lot and didn't play much as a rookie, but the next few years he showed that he was a dominant tight end in the NFL. Jason played 14 years with the Cowboys, missing only 1 game in the entire 14-year stretch. Jason put up over 1,000 yards only 4 times in his career, but he was almost always recording over 700 yards every season. In total, Jason scored 78 touchdowns with the Cowboys from 2003 to 2017. A really good stretch for a big, physical tight end. Jason retired at the end of the 2017 season to work on Monday Night Football at ESPN, but after a year, he left his job to rejoin the Cowboys. Jason played a year with the Cowboys in 2019, gaining 500 yards and 4 touchdowns. After the 2019 season, Jason still wanted to play football, but he was getting too old for the Cowboys' liking. So Jason joined the Raiders for the 2020 season, catching only 16 passes for 70 yards and 1 touchdown. After his lone year with the Raiders, Jason signed a 1-day contract to retire as a Cowboy. Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow was drafted by the Broncos with the 25th pick in the 2010 NFL Draft. Many people speculated that Tebow couldn't be a successful QB because of his lack of mechanics and throwing motion. Tebow sat behind the Broncos starting quarterback for most of his rookie year, but he did get a lot of action running the ball in trick plays. In 2011, Tebow became the starting quarterback and led his team to a mediocre 8-8 record, but they were able to clinch a playoff berth. In the 2011 wildcard game, the Steelers played the Broncos. Tebow led the Broncos to an overtime upset victory, beating the Steelers 29-23. But the following week, the Broncos got crushed by the Patriots, 49-10. After the season, the Broncos signed Peyton Manning in free agency, and Tim Tebow was traded to the Jets. Tebow wasn't used much by the Jets. He played one season for them, but only threw 8 times and rushed the ball 30 times. The Jets released Tebow in 2013. The Patriots signed Tebow in 2013, but he didn't make the 53-man roster. Again in 2015, Tebow was signed by the Eagles, but didn't make the roster. Many thought that would be the end of Tebow's career, after 5 years of no one wanting him. But on May 20th, 2021, Tebow was signed by the Jacksonville Jaguars by his former college coach, Urban Meyer. This time, he was signed to play tight end, not QB. It is unknown if Tebow will make the 53-man roster, but lots of people are rooting for him.